Hello, welcome to easyodds.com. My name is Ross Casey. I'm here with Jake Johns, our horse racing tipster. He's been in great form this season already, and we're here to give you his tips for the 2000 Guineas, the first classic of the season on Saturday at Newmarket. So without any further ado, Jake, let's get stuck in.
Let's go. Start off with the favourite, another AP O'Brien, of course. Air Force Blue, absolutely bolted up in the Dewhurst, the Premier 2-year-old colt race. He was incredibly impressive, which is why he was given a rating of 124, which is insanely high, and he was rated as the best 2-year-old in Europe. Aidan O'Brien says that he's the best 2-year-old he's ever had. He said I would take that with a pinch of salt. He says that about a lot of horses. I think he said Camelot was the best 2-year-old he ever had, and he wasn't brilliant.
Ouch.
I'm pretty sure he said Camelot was the best horse he ever had. I think he said Glen Eagles was one of the best he's ever had.
All of them are the best.
And he wasn't that good. He says it. He seems to say it pretty much every year, so I won't take that. But he was super impressive. He's currently best price of 2 to 3.
That's a short price.
Shorter in most places. In other, I think there's only 1 or 2 bookmakers taking from 2 to 3 at the moment. But yeah, he was incredibly impressive in the Dewhurst. He would have been hindered by if there was a lot of rain, but I don't see that much rain coming, to be honest. Like, the weather is a bit weird. Some are saying there's going to be a bit of rain, some are saying there's going to be a lot of rain, some are saying there's going to be no rain. So I don't know, what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that information? Yes, on Monday they were saying there was going to be rain every day. That hasn't rained at all. It's been really nice, but I don't know. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be that much rain, so it all looks good for him. The trip, AOP O'Brien is kind of saying, he might not get the trip. He won the Dewhurst. Not many horses win the Dewhurst and then don't get the Guineas Mile. I'm not worried about the trip, to be honest. There's only one concern that I have. He said to have winters very well as well, obviously, because he said. But there's one concern that I have. He's by his sire, Warfront, who to me hasn't really shown that much so far with his progeny. The big concern is that usually his 2-year-olds do significantly better than from when they're 2 compared to when they're 3.
Okay.
Not many people have been talking about that, but that is just my main concern. And a horse that's so short, odds on for a Guineas, that would be my main concern. That he might not improve that much as a 3-year-old. Obviously, A.B. O'Brien's saying that his winter's well. His preparation's gone perfectly according to him, but I don't know. I think he's short enough, and that little stat there is a little bit worrying. He probably will win. He probably will win. He'll probably bolt up, and then, yeah, it's not going to be a surprise at all. Obviously, he's odds on.
Do you think he'll be even shorter, closer to the race?
I don't know. Sometimes these Ballytor or AP O'Brien lovers get really stuck into a horse, and they just absolutely just unbackable. I'm not backing anything at odds on for the Guineas, so let's move on. Stormy Antarctic won the Craven really well. There was insane weather, there was lightning and really loads of rain and very heavy rain. Beat odds-on favourite Foundation in that race, who clearly wasn't himself that day. Trainer says he'll be as good on firm or good ground, but to be honest, it doesn't convince me. All of his forms on good soft surface or soft surface. If the rain really comes, he'll get backed quite heavily. When the weather forecast was saying that it was going to be really rainy, he got hammered from I think it was about 9 to 1 to 6 to 1. But it doesn't look like there's going to be that much rain anymore. But if there is, he has a huge chance, especially as Air Force Blue is probably better on a firmer surface. But unless it does come up soft, I reckon soft. Unless it comes actually soft, then I'm going to have to look out.
But if it comes out stormy.
But if it does come up stormy, great name, isn't it? Stormy Antarctic. What a name. But yeah, if it comes up soft, I'll have a second look. But I'm going to have to move on for now. Massart is 10 to 1, trained by Owen Burrows, who's a new trainer this season. Used to be assistant to Michael Stout. He's taken over from Mr. B.W. Hills.
Okay.
He was really impressive behind Air Force Blue last season. It's hard to see him reversing that form, though, to be honest. He got comprehensively beaten. But he could easily run into a place, maybe second or third.
Perhaps each way value there.
Yeah, perhaps each way value. I would say definitely. Next up, we have Marcel, who is wildly overpriced to me. Wildly, he's 12 to 1 at the moment. I'm pretty sure he's going to go here. There was talk about him going to the French Guineas, but I think he's going to go here. He won the Racing Post Trophy at Doncaster, which is a pretty good trial for this race. You could say he got lucky winning that race. He won an absolutely ridiculous odds. I think it was 33-1 as well.
Okay.
But 33-1 has won that race before and gone on to win the Guineas. You could say he got lucky as Foundation got trapped in a pocket quite badly. But before he got trapped in that pocket, he was going at least as well as him. When Andrea Atzeni pushed the button, he absolutely responded so quickly, flew to the front, and then won pretty easily actually, and was well on top of Johannes Vermeer at the finish, another horse trained by AP O'Brien. Johannes Vermeer won a Group 1 next time out at St Cloud, so the form's obviously pretty strong. Yeah. Obviously, Foundations have been beaten by Stormy Antarctic since then, but the horse that finished second to Johannes Vermeer in that Group 1 at St Cloud was Stormy Antarctic.
Good old Stormy.
Yeah, great name. There's a nice form line there. And
excellent.
Obviously, Marcel needs to have wintered well. And I think he has. Obviously, it's hard to tell at the moment, but I think he's overpriced at 12-1, to be honest. I don't know why he's that big, but 12-1 each way.
And you think he will be entered?
I think he will be entered, yeah.
Excellent.
It's huge. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's almost definitely going to run unless something happens. Next one, I quite like, another big price. I tipped him for the Commonwealth Cup in the Ascot video we did the other day, but if the rain stays away, and it has to really stay away, like none, it has to be no rain, but he's 16-1, trained by Mark Johnston. Buratino. Everyone's pretty worried about the trip. He actually beat Air Force Blue in the Coventry at Royal Ascot last season over 6 furlongs, and he was really impressive at Epsom the time before that as well. He had a really long, hard 2-year-old season, and he looked quite tired to me by the end of it. I mean, he had a hard season. He was running in incredibly hard races at the end as well, but he always performed admirably. He's never beaten that badly, and with a break, I think he could be. Because he was being talked as the big 2-year-old after that Coventry win, and as long as he gets the trip in the Middle Park, he looked like he would get the trip. To me, I think it looked like he would get further than 6 furlongs anyway. And I think if he does, he has an absolutely huge chance after a break. It has hopefully, obviously, if it's soft ground or good to soft, it's going to be a bit harder in that ground, staying that distance that he's never done before, and it's going to be quite tough for him. But in the racecourse gallop that he did at the Craven meeting, he looked really good, I thought. Mark Johnson doesn't seem that bullish about him getting the trip. I don't know why, but he looked pretty good in that. It's hard to take stuff out of these racecourse gallops. You need to see him in a race really, but he looked pretty good in that to me. I thought he was more impressive than Lumiere. But yeah, so if the ground comes up, good to firm, good. Maybe he has a chance, 16-1 each way. But my main tip will be Marcel at 12-1 each way for the 2,000 guineas.
Excellent stuff. Thanks very much, Jake. Those are Jake's tips for the 2,000 guineas on the Saturday, and of course that will be just one tip of his article up on Saturday on site, the Channel 4 tips page. And before then, make sure that you see his tips throughout the whole week daily on the Easy Odds site. So make sure that you go on site or download the app so that you can get those tips to your desktop or your phone, however you use easyodds.com. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. There's a button that's going to appear just above Jake's head there. Click on that button, subscribe to us for future videos, weekly football tips from myself in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and in the summer the European Championships, and weekly tips from this man Jake Johns, and he's already proven this season that he's in great form. So don't miss out, press that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.